right, here we go. All righty, sports ball fans. Another amazing edition of Are You Ready for Some Foosball, Sports, and Tacos? We're doing our NFL pregame today, just like we've done in the past. Our pre NFL predictions Sunday. We got some good some super sports experts on the show today.
Indeed.
We got Bama like always. Tony's gonna try and hop on. I don't know if it's gonna be from his car or a bedroom somewhere, but Tony's gonna try and hop on. We got the man in the shower, Mr. Bentley Fierro. Greg Vaughn said he's gonna try and stop in and make his NFL predictions.
It'll be San Francisco all day.
Week 2 of NFL football. But yeah, here we go. I mean, week 1 was pretty cool. Week 2, I looked at the games. I didn't see a ton of crazy exciting games today. What are you guys' thoughts on, like, one to 10? How exciting is week 2?
Let me start with week 1 already.
Okay, do it.
Chargers. This is a different Chargers team.
Oh.
I was watching the beginning. Oh, these guys are struggling. Oh, these guys are. They fought and fought. I'm just so excited to have Jim Harbaugh there. This is a whole new team. It's not the same old Chargers. And second, wow. How about those 49ers? Damn, man. These guys did not skip a beat.
How about Mason?
They are solid.
Yeah, Mason's a
So
good
let's
back.
see. It's a long season. And one more thing, the Lions. I was very impressed with the Lions. They made some mistakes. But same thing. These guys kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And it's a good start for these teams. Again, it's a long season. Let's see what happens. But I'm really excited. It's football season. Man, give me my cold pizza. I'm ready to watch the games.
No, there is, yeah. And there's some good games this weekend, Spencer. Don't deny that.
There's like 2. I just wasn't super excited with the matchups this weekend. What are your favorite matchups this weekend, Bama?
First off, it's got to be mentioned the Detroit Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, Baker Mayfield going back, what playoff game rematch from last year where Baker threw 3 touchdowns against them, and they just kind of barely lost there because Goff and the team was a little bit better. But that's actually my upset pick of this week. I did for our pick 'em pool at work. We do our NFL pick 'em pool. I took Tampa Bay to win outright on this one right here. I think they're going to give them a good show, especially like what you saw. They did put up a good fight, like Mr. Bentley down there said last week, the Lions, that is. But they also gave up 300 yards passing to the Rams and a receiving core that was down Puka Nacua after, the first couple of series. So they basically just had one receiver to throw to and a cup, and then spread out the other 4 or 5 guys with the 4 or 5 catches.
Yeah, I mean,
Godwin right there going at him. I think Baker's going to have a field day against that offense, that defense right there. Personally.
Yeah, that's my game of the day also. I mean, that would be my, that's not only the game of the day, but that'd be my pick of the day.
The over for sure.
Mainly just because I believe last time I looked, it was 7.5.
It's already jumped up to 8.
That hook could save you.
It's already up to 8 now. It's 8 now. It's already jumped up.
Yeah. What'd you say? It went to 8?
Yeah, it's already jumped up to 8. Yeah.
Man, I jump all over the Bucks to cover that 8 points.
Yeah.
But Bentley, what's your game of the day?
It's the rebound game. Bengals at Chiefs. We're gonna see a good game.
Yeah.
I hope so. Wow, that was.
Don't count out the Bengals. Look, the Bengals, they got Joe Cool. Don't count them out. They always start off slow and sloppy, and they peak during the right time. So, look, as long as Joe Burrow's healthy, man, don't count out the Bengals. They can make some stuff happen. I could see them in the playoffs. I think we may see an AFC final again, maybe Bengals and Bills or Bengals and Chiefs. The one thing about the Bengals, they have the Chiefs number. That is the one team they got the number.
That's a good point. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That is a good point. You know, I was looking at that, and I really don't understand why the Bengals underachieve so much in the beginning of seasons. Because, you know, on paper, they still have the majority of the things they had in their Super Bowl run a few years ago. There's no real reason, at least from, you know, an outsider looking in, that team should be down. And they've gone into freaking Kansas City and won before, but it looks like the betting public is definitely all over the Chiefs in that game. So that might be a good call.
What is the line on that one right there? Let's see.
I think it was 6.5. It maybe has gone to 7. That's it's in Kansas City. But I could see the Chiefs winning that game only by a field goal. What are your chances, Bentley? So you think the Bengals cover? You think the Bengals come out of there with a win?
The Bengals could win very easily this game.
You think so?
If anyone's got a chance to win at KC, it's the Bengals, man.
True.
They got their number. It's one of those teams. They have their number.
Not this year. Not this year. They lost it down. One off Joe Mixon losing them. I know Zach Moss had a pretty good game last week, but still, and they're still banged up with Higgins if he can even play. Jamar Chase is going to be Jamar Chase. I don't know. That offense was horrible last week, but like you said, track record says they never win week 1, Cincinnati. So, week 2 they do rebound, but Kansas City is a hard team to rebound against, especially on the road, even if you have beat them before on the road. I don't see Kansas City having any problem covering the 6.5 on this one, personally.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, if we had Tony on here, that probably, I would just have to guess that would be his pick of the day. He's pretty solid with his, it just seems like he likes those favorites. He always likes the Chiefs. I'm always afraid of those picks just because when it gets to like 6.5 or 7, but you're probably right, Bama. I mean, this game's probably going to end up like 30-20 Kansas City or something like that. But Bentley's got a good point. If there is an offense that on paper should be able to go in there and hang with the Chiefs, it would be the Bengals. But, dude, the Chiefs are just so good.
They have a lot of weapons.
They got so many weapons. Didn't they take a wide receiver with their first-round pick?
Xavier Worthy, Xavier. The guy.
I don't know what the hell he's doing. Wow. Yeah.
But they did, although they did lose Hollywood Brown for the season. He hadn't played yet, but they did pretty much rule him out for the whole regular season with his injury. He's having a surgery Monday, I think it is. So
yeah, I did see that.
He was going to be a big part of that offense, but they don't seem to be missing a beat with Rice and Worthy, and then of course Pacheco and Kelsey's taking the fourth fiddle right now, but he's going to have a big game pretty soon. So
Chiefs. Andy Reid offense can always make something happen.
Yeah.
As long as Andy Reid is in charge and Mahomes is healthy, even without Mahomes, they'll still be kind of like, they'll be okay, but still, of course, you need Mahomes. It's Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, I'll throw in there, and we'll throw in there Sean Payton as well. And of course, the Broncos maybe a little slow start right now, but these are offensive masterminds. They could always cook something up, so it's still a long season to go, but these guys can be competitive. They will score points.
So let me ask you this, Bentley. If you had to put $100, $1,000, or $1 million, bet the farm, but you got to take the Bengals to go in and upset the Chiefs today. Which amounts are you wagering?
Go $1,000.
You throw a G on the upset? That'd be pretty good. I mean, I think you would get probably like 3-1.
Yeah, and the Bengals are competitive, man. I'm telling you, they could probably win this game and then lose 3 other games and come back. It's one of those funny teams, man. So Bengals got a shot, man. It's Joe Cool.
It is Joe Cool. What are your guys' thoughts on the bleach blonde? Not that matters.
That's the reason they're losing.
It's just bleach blonde. Colin Cowherd has I don't know if you guys listen to Colin Cowherd, but he has this segment that he always talks about, backwards hat guy. And he never bets on backwards hat guy. And he thinks it's just because backwards hat guy is just, at the end of the day, kind of flaky, not reliable. His head isn't in the right spot.
Neither's his hat. No,
you think Joe Burrow, he just basically, they're too worried about being cool and not being great.
Well, here's the thing about Joe Burrow. He really is cool. And the guy is, dude, you see the way this guy conducts himself? Like, even in the Super Bowl?
I get it.
I get it. Yeah, really cool guy. And I think as long as you got that cool demeanor, you're not going to panic, you can make something happen. And that would just be Joe Cool.
That's true. He is cool. But this is probably his 4th or 5th year in the league?
Yeah, something like that. Probably like 5th or something. Yeah.
Look at the Bengals. They're a mess, man. They suck. They kind of have a messed up team, but this guy just makes something happen. So that's the amazing part.
I get
He's
that.
Just competitive playing for the Bengals.
If Joe Cool was that good, don't you think he'd maybe have a Super Bowl ring by now?
He's been real close. Yeah,
he's got a losing Super Bowl. Okay, so I'm just saying, how many times did Tom Brady dye his hair blonde?
No, Tom Brady. Again, though, it's football. You got to put all the pieces together. Joe Cool is one big piece. Unfortunately, it's the Bengals. They don't have all that. But because of his coolness, he can make something happen as far as possible. That's what I see out of Joe Cool.
John Elway didn't have anything in.
Not until later.
He was going to the Super Bowl every year with nothing. Yeah. So I don't know. Who knows? I like the guy for sure.
Yeah, John Elway is better
than
Joe Cool.
Greg Vaughn, can you hear us?
That's John Elway.
Yes, I can hear
you. Me, Greg?
Yes.
Awesome.
What's up, Greg?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
what's happening?
Joe Burrow. So, Greg, we're talking right now. Man in the shower, Bentley. He's claiming that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to go in and upset the Kansas City Chiefs today. What are your thoughts on that, Greg Vaughn?
I like it if you're a risk taker, you know what I mean? But I think Kansas City just is too much, especially at home. And I don't know. I think half these quarterbacks, with the money they make and didn't get the reps in preseason, I mean, everyone should start running the ball and, to get to the passing game, because to me, everyone looks rusty right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. They were talking about that this week, how the lack of preseason is making week 1 almost look like another week of preseason because the play is so bad.
I think so. I mean, you think everything's timing and rhythm. How do you do that? Practice is one thing, but game speed is something totally different. How do you emulate that in practice, and all of a sudden you get out there and you got Chris Jones coming after you instead of a coach with a broom? You know what I mean? So it's a little different. And I think look at all the teams that play their quarterbacks. Of course, my 49ers, but Purdy, Mahomes. Remember, all we were talking about in the offseason was behind the back pass. He's playing. Half these other quarterbacks did not play at all. You know, so it's
and I wanted to kind of like chime in about that at some point today. And it's just because I'm a Broncos homer. But don't get me wrong, Bo Nix started at Seattle, who's a good team, who I personally think is a quarterback away from making, possibly a deep run in the NFC. But, man, you could tell that dude had very little practice in preseason. You could just
About Bo Nix?
Yeah, Bo Nix. I mean,
honestly, he was always playing pretty much against second, third stringers, like Greg's saying. He wasn't never up to the fastest, best guys on the team. He didn't
exactly.
Really
I mean, I think he had one half of a preseason game against first stringers.
No, he played the Packers, but the Packers set pretty much their whole defense that day. They played backups that day.
And they're not going to show their schemes. I mean, they're going to get very unique on game day, stuff that he's never seen before.
Oh, for sure.
At 1,000 times the speed. So it's all part of the process, whether it's Bo Nix or Joe Montana or Troy Aikman, it's just part of the process. I mean, young quarterbacks have to go through it. You just hope you can not lose the game as you go through it, and it's going to make them better down the line. But hey, man, it's hard to emulate game speed. You know what I mean? Even in training camp, because even guys in training camp on the defensive end said, all right, just let me get my reps, get out of here and not get hurt. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is.
So, yeah, I still kind of am questioning. And again, I'm a homer. Sean Payton's decision to throw him to the Wolves, I almost would have waited till week 3 or 4, just because the first month, again, I'm Broncos homer, is against some pretty tough defenses. And when you don't get that much time in preseason, expecting a dude to just go out there and light it up like he's Dan Marino, those are pretty high expectations. And again, I'll finish with this: if he goes out there and just week 2, week 3, week 4 is just struggling, I think you could crush his psyche a little bit if you do that, as opposed to just hitting. But I'll just leave it at that. The other game, the other thing we were talking about, Greg, is at least for like me and Bama, our game of the day is Tampa and Detroit. What's your, I don't know, like what game are you going to tune into most today, Greg, besides like the 49ers?
I'll go through all of them. At 3:00, my mother's in town, so I just finished my workout. We're gonna go to the Aces game. You know what I mean, and support our Las Vegas Aces. But I'm a 49er fan, a football fan. I'll tune into all of it. And
Right.
just to reiterate on what you're talking about with Bo Nix. I mean, my philosophy, in which Sean Payton has a lot more experience and the people he has around him way more than I do. I'm just saying, if I'm not going to win and my quarterback's 25, 26 years old, his maturity level's a little bit different. This is all part of the process too. You know what I mean? Because if you think you're just going to put him in week 4 when we think there's not good defenses, those defenses are going to cause the same havoc on them.
Yeah. No, and every week over week, he's going to have to see improvement. I'm just praying that's what happens. Week over week, we see improvement, because if week over week we see him come out there just doing what he did last week, oh gosh, I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to talk about it. Okay?
But Spencer, what's funny is like you can see the fan perspective on your end, and this is shit. He's at the highest level and playing the toughest position in sports. It's hard. You got to give. Yeah, I mean, would you rather have him struggle this year and then be your stable quarterback for the next 10 years? I would.
Yeah.
But to think he's going to cover and go out there and throw for 300 or beat Dan Marino, probably not.
I know. So I just, maybe, I don't know. If he had more preseason games, more reps. So we'll see. We'll see. They're at home today against the Steelers. That's one of my Homer Simpson picks of the day. I'm thinking that because I think the Broncos, I think they win that game by like 3 points. They're 2.5 point underdogs. That would be like my 2-star pick of the day, just because they're at home. I'm hoping that home field advantage. Broncos fans are going to be fired up. They have something to root for. They're really going to be rooting for him to have a good game. What are you guys' thoughts? If you had to put $1 million on the Steelers to cover the 2.5 today, I know none of you guys are. Tony's trying to get on. What would you guys put your $1 million on today? The Steelers or the Broncos to cover the 2.5?
Steelers.
Broncos.
Yeah, I've got Broncos on this, and I know it's hard to go against Mike Tomlin, man. I mean, he showed last week going into Atlanta, which is supposed to be a pretty good team, and they shut down the Falcons like they did, and won with 5 field goals.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be like I could see Pittsburgh Pittsburgh's favorite 2.5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the home dog, man. Yeah, anytime the home dog is a fair underdog, I'll take the home team on that right there.
I'm just hoping that's a hope bet. That's a hope bet.
They should be able to slow down Justin Fields. I mean, Justin Fields wasn't that great looking last week. He had some decent moments, but I think they can slow him down enough, and hopefully they can get the running game and the Broncos in going, and maybe get a tight end going right there. But
yeah,
it's going to be a sloppy, slow game. I could, yeah.
Right. But Bentley, you're taking the Steelers to cover the 2.5 on that one.
No, Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos
Yeah.
will win that. One thing about Sean Payton is, remember, the Steelers played Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are a mess. And one thing about Payton is the defense of the Steelers is kind of one-dimensional. I think Sean Payton will figure that out, putting Bo Nix in there, having him start throw the ball, make him confused, and I think they can get the win out of it.
I hope so. Really hoping so. So, are the other
I'm not
Greg,
betting.
Greg, if you had to put $1 million, the Lions are favored by 7.5 over the Buccaneers today. Me and Bama are all over the Buccaneers to cover that 7. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a tough one because the Lions, to me, they haven't gotten it going yet, and at any moment they can just, I don't think the Bucs defense can handle them. But then on the other side, Baker, his relentlessness to find a way to win, it's hard to bet against. But for me, I'd probably have to go Lions.
Take the Lions. Oh, I like that 0.5 for some reason. I could see this game being 35-28, something, because the Bucs got a pretty sweet offense. Also, I don't think they're going to win this game. I could see this being a shootout. I could see this being like a, 42-38, just barn burner. And I like that half point. What if you had to put $1 million on it, Bentley? What do you take it?
Shootout will definitely benefit, I think, in this one, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So Baker. The Lions is probably the safe bet. But man, that 0.5 just scares me all the time. That hook always scares me on games, especially when it's like 3.5, 7.5, 10.5, 14.5, because those are like football numbers, that 0.5. Just, man, I've been burned by that 0.5 so many times in my life. So
yeah, I mean, again, like I said earlier, I mean, the hell, but Tampa Bay was a playoff team last year. I mean, anytime I can get 7 points on a playoff team from last year, I'll usually take that on a bet because they didn't really do anything to hurt their team from last year. I know they are missing their right tackle. I did hear today on the inactives for Tampa Bay, so we'll see how important that is. So they got a patchwork offensive line on that side. It looks like, but yeah,
right.
It's kind of hard to go against a playoff team getting 7 points, 7.5 points.
Yeah. The what I don't know. What do you have a pick of the day, like a lead pipe lock today, Greg, that you really like, or you just kind of?
Well, yeah, I think if it was Survivor Pool, I wouldn't go with my 49ers yet. I'd try to find somebody that can't play that bad, again.
Right.
I don't know. It's going to be – it's not sure. I think I would have to go against Green Bay just because, with the backup quarterback right now.
Right.
I think that'll probably be my lock.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Or whoever's playing Carolina. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
No, I took in my Survivor pool. I took Houston to beat the Bears today. That's my Survivor pick that I took. So, and I think Houston should cover the spread too on that game right there.
Hey Bentley, did you have any pick of the day, lead pipe lock? Or are you just going with your Chargers? You Homer Simpson?
No, I got an upset game for you. I think the Raiders are going to beat the Ravens.
No, come on.
That is blasphemy.
That is too.
What's the Raiders? Okay. Let's dive into that. In what scenario do the Raiders beat the Ravens today? How's that going to happen?
The Raiders always have the Ravens number in some kind of funny way at the beginning of the first week. It's funny. So I'm going with the Raiders on this one. Hey, they played well. It's a division game against the Chargers. Always division games are tough. You got someone from the outside. Raiders, Ravens. I think something's going to happen there.
No, I'll give Bentley that right there. Yeah, the Raiders have had the number for Baltimore last time. Which I know they lost to them in they played them in Vegas. Plus, I think it was Gardner Minshew with the Colts last year that beat the Raiders after I think Richardson went down.
Yeah,
but I'm
not a Raiders fan, but don't underestimate.
They're going to get Derrick Henry more involved in the game this week. They're going to the Baltimore is going to run all over a Raiders team that gave up a lot of yards to the Chargers last week. You think that was a lot of yards to the Chargers? Wait till Baltimore runs the ball on them this week.
Antonio Pierce is an
no
intense guy. He's got that locker room like, hey guys, we could have had this damn game with the Chargers. Let's show them what we can do to Baltimore.
The Chargers ain't the Baltimore Ravens, man. Sorry, but that's the lower level right there. Baltimore's going to come out and show them.
Is Jimmy G the Raiders' starting quarterback?
No, I forgot who the hell is the starting quarterback.
That's my problem.
Minshew.
Or something, right?
Oh, it's Gardner?
It's Uncle Rico. Yes.
Uncle Rico? Well, actually, if Uncle Rico occasionally
that man. Uncle Rico, man. I mean, but today I'm counting him out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, What's the spread on that? It's like 9 or something, isn't it?
What was it? 8 right now.
Okay, that's a bold statement. It's a bold statement, Bentley. You're putting 100, 1,000, or 1,000,000 on that long shot.
You're gonna go on a game. You got to do $1 million on a game like that.
You're going 1,000,000. You're gonna get like 4 to 1.
Yeah, you got to do $1 million.
No,
walk in, get it, win it all, and walk out.
No, you're gonna be like
just make a donation to the next skyscraper casino in Vegas.
Yeah,
that's probably a more likely scenario.
Remember, there's like some of those guys. Wasn't there a baseball player? I forgot, and he had the longest hitting home run, but he had the biggest strikeout record.
Yeah, his name is, I think, Babe Ruth, probably.
Someone like that, or Merrill. Is it Swing Away Merrill or something like that? I forgot.
Dave Kingman, maybe.
Yeah.
Chris Davis for Baltimore. He was a home runner, a strikeout guy.
Dave Kingman would hit like 45 every year and strike, but he either struck out or hit a home run basically every time.
The longest, but the highest strikeout record. Yeah.
Joey Gallo. Is Joey Gallo still around?
Yep.
He is, right. Kind of, he's kind of that same way where, but I guess the moral of the story is swing the bat. They definitely swing hard. They ain't striking out looking. I don't think.
No,
So swing the bat. You get an E for effort. I'm trying to think. The only other game that I would be, wagering on today is the Rams. The last I looked, the Rams were a pick'em. What are you guys' thoughts on the Rams today? I think, the Rams are a team that, to me, really aren't that bad other than maybe needing a defense.
Yeah.
They got Cooper Kupp back. They got a good quarterback. They're only, I don't think they're Super Bowl contention, but I think they could make the playoffs this year. They almost made the playoffs last year, right?
They did make the playoffs last year.
They did make the playoffs last year?
They lost to Detroit in the division.
Oh, that's right. So, and they're just a pick 'em. I mean, they're only favored by a point. What are you guys' thoughts on the Rams today?
Should win that one. It's the Cardinals. They always have the Cardinals number, but it's a division game.
Yeah.
So I'll give a chance to the Cardinals for sure.
Yeah, and that little Kyler Murray, man, that dude just doesn't stop. I mean, I know he got shut down in the second half last week by Buffalo. They kind of figured him out and got him on that right there. It's kind of what I feel like will happen today. The Rams will get him in the second half, but again, I'm not betting on that game, especially with Arizona at home. They could easily win that game, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm picking the Rams.
It's nice to see a must-win game for both teams already. They're both 0-1, right?
Yeah, and especially with Nakua being out again. I mean, you got Cooper Kupp. Hopefully they're not going to let Cooper Kupp catch 10, 12 passes like the team last week did. Detroit did, I don't think. Yeah, Kyron Williams hard to slow down right there. I mean, of course, the Rams are the better team on paper, but not by a whole lot. I mean, James Conner's good. McBride's a good tight end for Arizona. Like I say, Murray's hard to stop once he gets going. I just see him not making it in the end. So, yeah, I like the Rams.
And it's a division game. So
good game, a very good competitive game. Very good competitive game. I like the Rams.
Greg Vaughn, what are your thoughts on that game?
I'll give you my thoughts, and I got to go check 4 fantasy teams after this one just to make sure.
Do it. What are you thinking?
I think the Cardinals at home.
Cardinals
at home, because I'm telling you what, they looked really, really good in that first half of their game last week. And I think it's a building block, new coach, I think it's the Rams.
Yeah.
Nice. Bentley.
I mean, not the Rams, the Cardinals. Sorry.
Cardinals. Bentley. What are your thoughts?
Rams. I'm giving this one to the Rams. I think their defense will shut down Kyler Murray.
Nice. Well, I'm coming to you guys live from Twin Peaks and Buckhead in Atlanta. It's one of my new favorite places, just so you know.
Hell yeah.
It's freaking sweet.
Well,
I want to see Atlanta one day. Everyone's moving out there in the Tyler Perry studios, and the cost of living I hear is amazing, and I got to see it. How's the weather? Is it tropical humid or like California?
No, I would say it's like a mix between Florida and California. It's not crazy humid. It's not crazy hot. I mean, it still like gets a little bit cool. So far, I like it.
But people there are friendly. It's not
people there, dude. Totally.
Not like the LA
night
West
and
LA
day difference, dude. Like, I was these girls. Are they both Broncos fans? Wow. They freaking like I was at the gas station, and the guy was like, how you doing today? And I was like, are you talking to me? Like you talking to me? I was like, I had to do like a double take.
That's how it is. Yeah.
You're asking for money, right? In LA, someone says, "Hey."
Yes, if somebody says that to you in Los Angeles, they want money.
That's pretty much here in Denver too nowadays. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. There was a couple of props bets I kind of like. Bentley, you'll like this one. I think Justin Herbert over 203.5 passing yards is a good bet today. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, Herbert,
that's not a very big number.
Yeah, he's going to throw the ball. Yeah, definitely. Justin Herbert, for sure, I can see that.
He didn't get 200 yards last week.
Yeah. Hey,
I'll take that.
You guys want to give a shout out to the Denver Broncos on my Sports and Tacos podcast? Yeah. Hey guys. So just say, because they're both Broncos fans. What's your name?
I am Leah. Colorado.
Both from Colorado, and I'm in Atlanta, bro. At the Twin Peaks in Atlanta.
I'm in Denver.
New Broncos fan friend.
Fans.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. So
nice.
Like that.
What are Broncos fans doing in Atlanta?
Yeah, from North Denver. Born and raised. So awesome, girl.
Thanks. It was nice meeting you guys.
This is going to be my new spot. This is Sports and Tacos. We do it with baseball star Greg Vaughn. Just so you.
I'm going to have to look you guys up.
Yes, Sports and Tacos on YouTube.
Okay, I'm going to look you guys up.
Cool, guys. Go Broncos. So, anyways, Justin Herbert over.
Girls like that don't exist in Los Angeles.
No,
no, that doesn't happen.
Wow. Pretty and friendly. Wow.
Yeah, dude. Like, I get it. I'm starting to like understand why so many people have been coming here.
Wow.
My Hollywood has been moving here. It's affordable. Yeah. Gas is $3 a gallon. Rent is freaking normal. Yeah. Like, food is normal.
I gotta take a trip to Atlanta.
Yeah, dude. I mean, so far I like it quite a bit, and so and I got lucky. Got a real good night job where I'm making basically the same money I was in LA.
Wow, not the high price of living, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I did real nice takeout. So, anyways, another one I saw, Baker Mayfield over 264.5 yards passing. I'm taking the over on that all day.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that one.
What are your thoughts on that, Bentley?
I'll take the under. This is Detroit. Their defense knows him well, and I think he's still a little rattled. So I don't see him getting close, but not above. No.
Yeah, you don't think he's going? You don't think he's freaking? Oh, whoops.
He did throw 3 touchdowns on him last time they played him in the playoffs.
TMP, we got TMP. Sorry, Tony.
What up, baby?
The show finally begins.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. My team lost yesterday, CSU, but my real team won. Yeah.
It's about time.
And then my other real team's going to win today. I know. The other my other team's going to win today too. Go Broncos.
Yes, they are, TMP. Bo Nix is going to have a rebound game. He's going to
Yes, I do agree. Hey, guys, I want to introduce you to my brother, Nick.
No.
What's up, gang? Bo Nix, bring out the tricks, baby.
Yeah, baby.
So
I
love it.
So we were just talking about it, basically our picks of the day. Lions are favored by 7.5. Me and Bama both like the Bucks to cover that 7.5. What do you think, Tony?
I disagree on that one, my friend. Last week, Detroit, they won the game, but they won it in the last seconds of overtime. But at the same time, they're playing a Bucks team that, they got some good players. They got Goodwin. They also have, some guy named Mike Evans, and they got Otter for a tight end, and they got a new future running back coming up to play. gosh darn it. And, Mayfield, you know what? Baker is so happy not being in Cleveland anymore. He's where the sun shines.
So are you defending our
I
pick?
still
Or are
like
you
Detroit.
You're taking the Lions?
Yep. I'll take the
You know
Lions
what?
and I'll go ahead and give the points.
Yeah, Greg Vaughn did the same thing. Greg Vaughn just had to take off, but he didn't like the Bucks either in that one. The other pick was the Steelers are favored by 2.5. I like the Broncos to win by a field goal today.
I would take the Broncos and take the money line.
Yep. The other pick of the day was the Rams and the Cardinals. I took the Rams because it's basically a pick 'em. What are your thoughts on that game?
This one, shotgun, I disagree with you on. I think
disagree?
Arizona's going to pull it out. They got some, ex Hall of Famer son on that field where, granted, he only got 6 yards last week. Nothing big, but I think he's going to show out. Plus, they still got Connor in the backfield, and they got that little guy called Kyle. Kyle!
Yeah. I think the Rams are underrated, and when it's a pick 'em like that, I gotta go with the better quarterback.
Yeah,
They got
but
Cooper-
at
they
the
got
same
Cooper
time, you got to
Kupp,
look at something too, brother. The Rams now only have one wide receiver instead of two greats.
That's true,
Cooper's
they can
going.
double team him.
Yeah, they're going to double team Cooper like no other because of Nuka's out.
Yeah. Then the other things we went over, Tony, I liked Justin Herbert over 203 yards passing today. I thought that was a pretty safe bet. That's a pretty low number.
I like that too because they got some young talent. From backfield to the wide receivers. Oh my gosh! By the way, man in the shower, what's up?
Hey, you guys think that number is so low just because of Harbaugh and how much Harbaugh loves to run the football?
Yes.
Well, I agree.
I mean, but okay. Here's the thing: like in the NFL, you're never going to run the football more than 50%. Is Harbaugh a play action guy? He is, right?
He's a runner. He's a runner.
Well, I know that, but like he likes to throw based off of the run, which is play action.
Play action, yeah, I'm sure.
And if you're running the football and the play action starts to work, I mean, you could put up some yards through the air. So I mean, 200. Herbert could throw for 300 or 400, no problem.
Yeah, but you got to remember this too. Herbert, he's not the healthiest Herbert that we've seen in the past. He's been hurt. He's been injured, and I still think he's going to do all right because with the puppy wide receivers that he's got, because he lost Mike Williams, he lost the big boy that went to the Bears. I think he's going to
like the over though. You still think over 203 is a pretty safe play?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And the other one was Baker Mayfield over 264 yards passing, and I just like that. I think that's going to be an offensive barn burner game. Whether the Lions cover or not.
What he had last week. That's the fact. He will not have what he had last week.
So you're saying under maybe?
Yeah. Those wide receivers are not going to be as open as they were last week. He threw for 4 touchdowns, but who did he play?
True. But I mean, the Lions don't really have a amazing defense. They have an amazing offense. Am I correct? You guys might know more than me.
Including with my ex-Michigan boy, Hotchiskin. I like him. Yeah. He's a beast. He's their captain. He's going to roll the show. Plus, they got a lot of new talent on there.
Yeah. And then my other prop that I like today, again, I'm Homer Simpson, but Bo Nix over 173 yards passing today.
I like that one.
That's easy.
I like that one.
I think that's easy. I mean, I'm not sure what he passed for.
I don't know about that.
But I mean, dude, 175 yards passing.
I don't think
those guys have that at halftime.
Kirk Cousins didn't get that last week for the Falcons, and I think Kirk Cousins is a better throwing quarterback than Bo Nix, especially right now in his career. And
Yeah,
Sitters,
but Bama, you got to understand, you got a rookie versus a veteran.
that's what I'm saying. So why would you think the rookie's going to get more yards than the veteran against a defense?
I think he's going to step up to the plate from after last week's showing. Plus, he's going to be the first time at Mile High Stadium for the first time starting in front of Mile High fans going nuts. Yes, I agree.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. He's
I
at home.
to win the game, but it's not going to be on Bo Nix's arm.
And you know what another thing is too, y'all? I see our actual running backs running more than our quarterback.
I hope so. Because I hope so. I think that'll have to be the case if we're gonna be winning the game or even close to winning the game.
It's gonna be interesting, man.
So Tony,
and I
what,
think
why we got you? I know you've probably had a chance, but like, what is Tony's? Because you are the guru. What is Tony's lead pipe
picks?
lock of the week for all of America? If I
my
needs a new pair of shoes, Tony.
Well, I got. You know what? I picked 3 locks this week, and they're all
Give
gonna
me your
win.
number one. Which one are you putting $1 million on?
LA Chargers beating Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that's exactly what Greg Vaughn. He was like, just give me whoever's playing Carolina.
Yeah, that's something I'm flexing or streaming my defense on fantasy with the last 2 weeks with who's played Carolina. So I picked up the Chargers this week. I had the Saints last week. Yeah,
smart move.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I got 18 points last week out of them. I should get some good points with the Chargers defense this week. Yeah, but I just I kind of feel like
what's your other picks, Tony?
My other picks, I took Baltimore over the Raiders. I did give the 8.5, and the other one, I love it to death. I almost said that this would be over jumping the Carolina game, but I like the Colts.
The Colts.
I like the Colts over Green Bay because Green Bay doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
And they can't throw to Dobbs. They can't throw to Reed. Watson, that quarterback's going to be stuck in that backfield a lot today.
Yeah, true.
And then, but the fun game of the day, I like. It's going to be fun. Houston Texans playing the Chicago Bears. Both 1-0s. The only rookie that won last week is playing tonight. But you know what? I think, I think the Houston Texans is going to overcome that. And I don't know about the spread, man. That's going to be a tough game because the Bears are starting to have a good defense.
Houston blows them out by 10 at least. That's what I think.
Oh, I would love that to happen.
What was the spread on that game?
I think it's like 6. I think.
6?
Yeah,
so Houston by 6. Huh?
So at least
where's it at? Is it in Houston or Chicago?
Yeah, it's Houston.
Ooh.
As I say, it's Caleb Williams.
That's what I'm saying.
He should be better than last week, but Houston's got a pretty good defense himself, and
yes, they do.
Be the MVP this year, probably. And
I would take the Bears if that was in Chicago on the natural, grass, but that could be a track meet if it's in Houston. Who knows, man? I mean,
6,
honestly, it would just be like a 1-star. It wouldn't be like a 5-star play, but what the hell? I would take the Bears plus the 6 just for like giggles.
They got a good team, man.
Yeah, they're young. The Bears actually are probably even better off than the Seahawks. But I've been saying like a year or two from now, I think the Seahawks and the Bears, just because they've had so many first-round draft picks, they should both be playoff contending teams. The Seahawks just need a quarterback, but the Bears may have got their quarterback. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you think about it, look at all the years that Detroit Lions had first-round draft picks, and they had one of the best running backs in NFL history, and they only made it to the NFC Championship now twice after 20-plus years. I don't know. That's a tough call, but with Chicago Bears, what they have for wide receivers, my gosh, man, they picked up L.A. Rams boy. They got DJ Moore. They got Clement, and then now, man, they got a backfield too. But at the same time, Look at the backfield Houston Texans have now. And he
Yeah.
showed up. He got out of Cincinnati. He was tired of Cincinnati. He pulled up. He put up almost 160 yards. He's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Cool.
But if we're talking about old retired running backs, let's go to Philadelphia. Look what Barkley put up last week,
Yeah,
where
that's true.
everybody he washed up. He put up 103 yards, 28. What was it? 28 or 48 yards in passing, and
Yeah.
then or in catching, and then also he had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
with some of these running backs these days, they're just happy to leave where they started from to go in something new.
Yeah, whatever keeps their career going, for sure. And that's a great place I mean, you're going from essentially a losing organization to, I mean, he could be playing in the NFC Championship game, if not I don't know if they're
Is
Super Bowl bound
exactly
this year, but he could go make a deep playoff run,
both
So,
teams could actually meet up. Houston
Yeah.
versus Philadelphia.
cool. There's one other thing before the games get started I wanted to chat about, and it's not NFL related. I don't know if you guys saw yesterday, but the starting quarterback for the Texas Longhorns got hurt. And guess who stepped in and lit it up like a Christmas tree?
Little
Mr.
Arch.
Arch
Little Arch.
Manning himself. So I just want to, you guys remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about NIL, and I had proposed the AAA Football League. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to make a bold statement right now. I guarantee you, if he could go into the draft, even if you couldn't play him for 3 years, there is an NFL team that would pay him 10 million bucks to sit on the practice squad for 3 years right now. What are your thoughts on that statement?
Hey, a lot of them done it. Hey, you're looking at Aaron Rodgers. Look what he did. He sat on the bench where he was letting the great one do what he did. Look what he did. Look what Steve Young did under Joe Montana.
And I mean, I know it's not a normal thing. He's making 3 million. I looked it up. He's making 3 million bucks from NIL money this year. But I promise you, a guy say like Jerry Jones, to just have the rights to him, if he could somehow buy it down for 3 years, Jerry Jones would pay $30 million right this second for that.
It was one
Yeah.
game. No, it was one game versus Texas State, man.
I'm telling you, right? That's my crazy statement of the day. What are your guys' thoughts?
Let him do that against.
I disagree with you on that one, brother, because Jerry Jones you're talking about already spent all this money on Trey Lance, but at the same time they put a down payment on Mr. Dak Prescott. I don't see that happening, but I could see him going to a team though. Maybe the one that you guys are gonna all laugh at me about, Cleveland Browns.
Oh God, don't say that, because then his career will
Yeah, it just goes there to die. His career does.
this is a career killer.
Unless you're Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco got into the playoffs last year and rejuvenated his.
I don't know. And the point is, like we were talking, now you have the NIL money, but it's like, if you're that talented, the NFL should just have a AAA league and get these kids out of college altogether.
Why do you think he's again? It was Texas State. Nothing against Texas State.
I know. I'm just the DNA, the pedigree. I'm just saying, Arch, somebody would give him 10 million bucks right now.
All right, out of the
Just sit
previous
on the bench.
quarterbacks that we've known, like DeLones, the Rippons, the Achilles, how many of those are panned out to be good that were the next generation's quarterbacks?
I know. I'm just, and here's the point.
That was a Manning. That's different because Archie was good.
So
Manning
good.
and Peyton.
Sorry, I'm just about
Eli,
done.
yeah.
I just don't want to
No, it's totally fine. You can, yeah, you can tab me too. So, and it's like, so he's making 3 million this year on NIL money. I'm telling you, injury. He's got to play the whole season. I'm just telling you, the guy could be making 10 million a year for the next 2-3 years, sitting on the bench,
I'm not
getting
saying somebody
NFL
wouldn't do it.
reps
Yeah.
with,
I'm not saying
with
nobody
practice
wouldn't do it.
squad players, And so
I'm
if
not
he were to
saying
get
it's a bad
injured, at least he'd be getting paid 2-3 times what he would be to be in college. That's all.
No, you make less
Yeah.
money.
You know. And again, Arch Manning is kind of a, that's not a normal scenario, but it's that's all I got.
Let him play a season in the conference, man, before you
Because
make that.
did he redshirt last year? Is he a sophomore?
I think so. I'm not 100% on that, but I think he's a sophomore.
I think he's got to wait at least 2 more years before he's eligible for the draft, I believe. I'm not.
I thought it was
positive about that.
Yeah, not this year, next year. Yeah, it's got this year, next year, I think.
So it's just like I'm making $3 million this year, when I know an NFL team would just pay me $10 million a year for the next 3 to sit on the bench and practice in an NFL setting.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I agree with the NFL team's going to pay him $10 million to sit on the bench when he's only played like 1 game of college ball.
Yeah, I could see it. If he had more games, and also you got to understand though, Texas is now on the SEC. And he only played a team that was from Little Texas. Wait till he starts playing with the Alabamas, with the LSUs. There's a lot of big teams out there. And then on top of it, too,
and that's kind of I guess that's kind of my point. All he's doing is
look at this. You got to also look at
all he's doing is risking getting hurt in college before he ever makes big money.
Experience.
Yeah, but the only thing, he's only played 1 real game.
I know.
And it was to a team that wasn't even like in the top 10, top 5, top 4. Wait till they play in Alabama that's seeded number 4. Wait till they start playing in Arkansas, even though that's considered a weak school. Look at Vanderbilt. He hasn't played nobody yet.
I know. I'm just telling you that just because of that
But
name.
it was a hell of a backup. It was a hell of a backup.
Yeah,
and I see where you're going.
The last name Manning, dude. The last name Manning. It's like he almost should just be. If I was him, fast forward straight to the NFL, homie.
How hurt is Ewers? Does anybody know how hurt Ewers is?
Like 2-3 weeks. It sounds like, but it could be a Drew Bledsoe scenario where Ewers never gets that job back.
Yeah, well, if Manning comes in there and shows out in these first couple of SEC games, yeah. But I mean, Ewers
did he do an 80-yard run?
Yeah, and 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns. He was 5 touchdowns in like a half, basically. It sounded like.
Yeah, but once again, he did a great job yesterday. He did a fantastic job. But the catch is he didn't play against any of the big SEC teams where. This is their first year for it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So, well, great. He did. It would have been nice to see what he did against Michigan. I'm glad Ewers didn't get hurt in mid, but still, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I want to see how he does.
I want to see
all the great college teams. I'm just saying, there's a person in the NFL out there that if they could, would say, "Here's done.
It would be.
You're wasting your time. Come on to the NFL right now."
Yeah, but I wouldn't open up those box of chocolates yet because, man, look what happened last year with what's his face from the New York Giants after he won that first game.
Are you talking about the Italian kid? The Italian kid?
Tommy Cutlets.
I forget his name.
It was one of those. He lit up. He lit up one game, and what happened after that game?
I know. So. All right, well,
Agent
cool, guys.
Was crazy.
The game start in 5 minutes, so everybody enjoy your day of NFL foosball, and we'll get back to Sunday morning pregame show, and then Monday nights. I'll know my schedule soon. I got a night job at a nice steakhouse in Atlanta, so I'm not sure. We'll just have to work out. Like I said, I'll know my schedule soon for Monday nights. And we'll just figure it out. But, just pencil in the Sunday morning show before the NFL for right now. All good?
Hell yeah. Go Ravens.
All right, dudes. Go Broncos, Tony. Today is going to be a glorious Broncos Sunday.
It's going to be victorious. I think the Broncos will win by 10 points or more.
Oh, that would be so good. And have Bo Nix have a great game. Oh, please, God. All right, guys. Have a good Sunday.
All right.
Tell
See you,
everybody I said
Bama.
hello.
Enjoy work.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Later, guys.
Yeah, have fun.